All right, I've showed some love to my CNAs. I've told y'all how much I love you. CNAs, you're awesome. You're great. Thank you for what you do. CNAs, you're fantastic. I could not do my job without CNAs. Nurses couldn't do their jobs without CNAs. But today, laying down some hate. Laying it down. Laying down some hate. All right. I'll probably get some hate mail on this one. I'll probably get some folks that don't like this video. That's okay. CNAs, as much good as you do, as oftentimes as you do great things, there are times that you do wrong. There are. Not all CNAs, not every CNA, but there are times that CNAs aren't really helping or aren't really doing what's in the best interest of what the nurse needs at the time. This is true. Very true. Any nurse out there will tell you that a CNA can make or break your night, and a bad CNA can break your night. Let me tell you, not today, nothing recent, I'll say that, nothing recent has happened. If a patient happens to have a fall, or happens to have pain, or happens to tell you about something that is medically necessary, please come to the nurse. Let your nurse know. Just let your nurse know. Just say, hey, Chris, patient down there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, C, D says they have chest pain. Oh, well, when did they tell you they had chest pain? I don't know. I did my round at 7:30. It's now midnight. They could be dead in there. Are they dead in there? Go check on them. I'm bringing the phone in the cart right now. Oh my gracious. Just don't do these things. Tell me if somebody's having chest pain. Tell me if somebody's having pain. I had one time. I want to say I was doing a trach. I was doing a dressing change, or maybe I was changing the entire thing. I don't really remember. But I was changing out a trach, and I was to a point to where I could be interrupted. At any point in time I could be interrupted, but I couldn't necessarily stop at any point in time. CNA comes in and says, hey, Chris, patient down there in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, C, D has fallen. Okay, that's what they said. I said, okay, I'll be over there in just a second. Let me finish up with this, and I'll check on them. They're back up in their bed or chair or whatever it is, right? And they said, oh, they're fine, or something to that effect. So, okay, that's fine. So I finish up my trach change, do my trach care and everything, and I come out, and there are all these CNAs kind of looking at me like I just did something wrong. And they are like, Chris, I told you that patient had fallen. And I'm not lying to you. This woman's arm was gross looking. Why did you not tell me that this woman's arm is gross looking? Well, I told you they fell. That's not the same. That is not the same. It's not. This is on me now. Oh my gracious. They just, bad CNA can break your night. It can happen. Another thing that CNAs can kind of do, and I did this as a CNA. I did do this as a CNA. And when I became a nurse, I later went back to my nurses and apologized for it, is oftentimes they will say, a CNA will say something like, oh, your heart rate looks good to me. I don't know why they got you on bed rest. I remember doing that one particular. I had just got the vitals on a patient, and this patient was on strict bed rest, and the parameters for the bed rest were due to the patient's heart rate. It was because as soon as the patient stood up, this patient's heart rate shot up to like way up there. And so I told the patient, oh, I don't know why they told you that. Your heart rate looks good to me. And me being the medical personnel that I was, a lot of patients, will take you at your word, depending on what you say. This patient took me at my word, and all of a sudden got up. Next thing I know, here comes an entire team of nurses. They're like, Chris, did you tell this patient that they could get up? And I was like, yeah, I told them they could get up. And they were like, no, sit down. This is why you have the catheter. You don't need to get up for nothing. I was like, well, what's the big deal? Heart rate was, blah, 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 blah. They're like, yeah, but the instant this patient takes a step on the floor, the heart rate jumps up to like 950,000. I was like, oh, wait. That might be why you can't get up, bud. I've given out wrong information. I've told patients wrong information. Simply because I was a CNA. I've disagreed with the nurses before. Simply because I was a CNA and didn't quite know any better. I did that. I did. Nurses, love you CNAs. The good ones are great. I love my CNAs. Thank you for doing what you do. CNAs, please, guys. If it's something you don't know about, just say, I'll ask the nurse, or something like that. And then, which is what I should have done in my scenario. And please, if something happens, please let somebody know, like immediately, like urgently, if their arm is all crooked. Please let them know. All right, probably getting some hate on this one. Thank you much.